Social media threats turned the MU campus into a ghost town, leaving many students on edge.
It's like today, everyone's just at home because you're afraid to be out.
Although a man is behind bars, some still feel a sense of fear.
It's tense. It's really tense.
And while the jobs of 2 MU employees are in limbo, one professor resigns on his own. Also on KOMU 8 News, an exclusive interview with a photographer whose confrontation with protesters has gone viral. KOMU 8 News at 6 starts now.
The man accused of making threats against black students at MU is now behind bars. Good evening, I'm Brittany Pieper.
And I'm Jim Rake. Thanks for joining us. The threats were found on the anonymous social media app Yik Yak last night. Tonight, 19-year-old Hunter Park is in the Boone County Jail. Park is a sophomore at Missouri University of Science and Technology in Rolla. University police went to Rolla early this morning to make the arrest and bring him back to Columbia. Park's post said, quote, "I'm glad to stand my ground tomorrow and shoot every black person I see." Park's bond is $4,500. Yik Yak issued an apology following last night's post. The app creators said, quote, "It's our hope that the range of discussion on MU's campus can help to bring about positive resolution and a better understanding within the community. But there's a point where discussion can go too far, and the threats that were posted on Yik Yak last night were both upsetting and completely unacceptable."
A day after receiving multiple threats from anonymous online posters, it was an unusual day on the MU campus. There was a noticeable absence of people just walking around. Some students told KOMU 8 it was a sad day and that many of the students stayed home out of fear. Those who were there were not going to let the threats disrupt their education.
Personally, I was scared, but I still had classes going on and I still had to go to them because my professors are strict with taking attendance and things like that.
I knew I was going to go to class. I am really intense about my education. I really believed all of this was just an empty threat.
Other students expressed concern about MU's response to the threats Tuesday night. To see the statement MU released today and more coverage of the situation on campus, you can go to our website, KOMU.com.
You've all seen it, a video that's gained national attention. Now a journalist is talking to KOMU about trying to be at the right place at the right time. KOMU 8's Colin Ruane is here in the studio with reaction from the student who was hoping to document history.
And that video really started it all. It showed at least 2 MU employees asking reporters to remove themselves from public property. MU student Tim Tai was in the video and was that journalist seen there. Today I spoke to him for his first on-camera interview since Monday's confrontation.
I can't remove myself from being part of the story. I have to accept that and move on and deal with that.
Tim Tai didn't expect to get national attention. Millions of people have seen the video of him and another reporter facing demonstrators who demanded they move away from a public area on MU's campus.
You're physically intimidating people who have the right to be there, and I would argue are not actually intruding on the scene.
The scene was much quieter on the Carnahan Quad Wednesday, but the attention toward the now viral video has not died down. While Tai has received praise from across the country, he still has his critics. On Tuesday, we spoke to one of the demonstrators who said Tai was out of line.
He was like, "Get out of my face," and he pushed her back. And that's when that other student got really upset.
I never intentionally shoved anyone or pushed anyone. I did try to stand my ground when they were shoving me.
2 MU staff members issued written apologies for the way they acted toward reporters. Other protesters have handed out flyers to reporters indicating a more welcoming tone to those covering their story in the future. While Tai believes he did nothing wrong, he says he probably would have reacted differently.
You know, if I had to do it over again, I probably wouldn't have engaged as much.
That video continues to get more traffic online. As of this afternoon, it had more than 2 million views on YouTube. On Facebook, the original post has more than 3,500 shares.
The MU Department of Student Life placed Greek Life Director Jana Bassler on administrative leave this afternoon while the department investigates that incident. Click and Bassler were seen threatening student journalists during Monday's protest on Carnahan Quad. Click is an assistant professor for the MU Department of Communication, while Bassler is an assistant director of Greek Life and Leadership at MU. Both have apologized Brian Brooks, a retired professor with the Missouri School of Journalism, says the violation of the First Amendment hurts the reputation of the Missouri School of Journalism.
It breaks my heart to see some professor act in a way that flouts the First Amendment in public, on camera, that goes viral and goes international.
Students on campus say Click has not been present in class this week. About an hour ago, she resigned from another campus committee, the Chancellor's Student Publications Committee. Another MU professor made national news over an email. Professor Dale Brigham turned in his resignation after the Washington Post said his email challenged students to come to class despite threats posted on social media. Brigham's email said, quote, "If you give in to bullies, they win. The only way bullies are defeated is by standing up to them. If we cancel the exam, they win. If we go through with it, they lose." In a statement to KOMU 8, Brigham said, quote, "I am just trying to do what's best for our students and the university as an institution. If my leaders think that my leaving would help, I am all for it." However, while he did submit his resignation, leadership has not accepted it.
Strong storms leaving mid-Missouri. We have team coverage. Let's send it over to Kenton at the live Doppler 8 First Alert Weather Center. Kenton?
Jim, thank you very much. We've been tracking this really since Sunday, but certainly all afternoon as well. This cold front here bringing some showers and thunderstorms through the area. There are no warnings right now in effect. I'm not expecting any warnings to be issued either. We are still seeing some gusty winds and certainly some heavy rainfall with some of these systems as well. Right now it's just on our extreme eastern viewing area right now into Montgomery County, Montgomery City. It's mostly through your area, getting through Middleton as well. And as we head down into Gasconade County, Herman, you're just about ready to see some rain for you. And it's some heavy rain as well with some gusty winds, but again, nothing severe associated with it. The big story today has of course been our winds. It was windy before the storms got here, windy during the storms, and it's going to be windy after the storms as well. These are our current wind gusts, and they were about 36 miles an hour still in Columbia, 38 over in Kansas City, and we do have a wind advisory in effect for pretty much the rest of our night and into about 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, where gusts could be up to 45 to 55 miles an hour, but our skies certainly are clearing out now at this point. It's something I'll continue to talk about, and I'll have much more coming up later on in the show.
Yeah, I'm live standing out in Salisbury. This is out in Sheraton County. Behind me is a 30 to 40 foot tree outside that is downed thanks to thunderstorm winds from earlier today. Now, these storms rolled through between about 4 and 5 o'clock this afternoon. And as Kenton just mentioned, a lot of them are gone. But we spoke to the Salisbury fire chief, and he said that this is something that they're going to have to clean up here for the rest of the night, or at least help with. Power was out for about an hour at the fire station here in Salisbury. Reporting live, Tim Schmidt, KOMU 8 News.
Tim, thank you very much. Here's what's happening right now. The UM Board of Curators are still meeting at this hour. KOMU 8's Nick Commissar joins us live from University Hall with the latest developments.
The meeting started at around 4:30, and after calling roll, almost immediately went into closed session, so we don't know much. We received a news release earlier that said the meeting is for consideration of certain confidential or privileged communication with University Counsel, negotiated contracts, and personnel matters. And what we do know is that a spokesperson with the MU system said yesterday that the board hopes to name an interim president to replace Wolf within the next few days. We will continue to monitor the meeting, and we will be back at 9 and 10 with the latest. Reporting live from University Hall, Nick Commissar, KOMU 8 News.
There won't be many MU Army cadets in uniform this week. Only a few wore their uniform for Veterans Day. An MU professor of military science says he made the decision in response to a threat on the VFW and the social media uproar Tuesday. Other ROTC programs say they will not comment on the issue of uniforms at the time. MU Air Force ROTC leadership says it is waiting for further information from higher up authorities before speaking to reporters.
And on this Veterans Day, Mid-Missouri youngsters show their appreciation. That's after weather. A Centralia school honored veterans during its 7th annual Old Glory project today.
The 5th grade students honored the vets by writing what freedom means to them on a flag and giving it to the veteran of their choice. All veterans ranging as far back from Vietnam all the way to Iraq were honored. One man has attended the event every year and appreciates it.
And it means a lot to the veterans that these teachers are teaching them about freedom and what veterans are all about.
He said he's grateful for the celebration as well as all of the veterans' service. 3 new basketball players will wear black and gold next year.
Right, a threesome coming to Columbia, then again a threesome of Columbia high school athletes are going elsewhere.
Here's a look at what we're following for KOMU 8 News at 10. The Tiger Team store pulled its T-shirts off the shelves leading up to this weekend's whiteout game against BYU.
Plus, businesses on 9th Street closed today because of safety. That's coming up at 10 o'clock.
1 week of protests leads to a big shakeup at the University of Missouri.
Transition of Chancellor of Missouri.
The resignation of not one, but 2 big leaders. Chancellor Arboen Lofton and former System President Tim Wolf.
And I take full responsibility for the inaction that has occurred.
Leading to various reactions.
I think it's a good move for the university.
I don't think it was really necessary.
And the university and activists both planning next steps.
We're going to end on a solidarity note, I need.
KOMU 8 News at 10 starts now.
A hunger strike, weeks of protests, a boycott by football players, alumni support, and much more ends with not 1, but 2 high-profile MU resignations. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Reek.
And I'm Brittany Pieper. President Tim Wolf and Chancellor Arboen Lofton are leaving their respective posts in Mizzou leadership. The changes raise a lot of questions for MU's future. We have team coverage tonight, and we'll start with KOMU 8's Chris Gothner live at the Old Alumni Center in Columbia, where Lofton announced his resignation just hours ago. Chris?
I'm here at the Old Alumni Center where at about 4:30 this afternoon, Arboen Lofton announced that he will be transitioning.
KOMU 8's Caitlin Rounds talked to students about Lofton's resignation. She is live at Traditions Plaza, the site of the week-long protest camp. Caitlin?
Faculty members would not comment at this time. I was able to talk to many students about how they felt about Chancellor Lofton's resignation. I talked to dozens of students, and there was a wide range of emotions on campus today.
Very much. Game 1 of the World Series last night had some late night, early morning thrills, and the Royals ended up walking away with that victory. Jim Reek and Chris Trevino are keeping that marathon coverage going live from Kauffman Stadium with how 5 hours of baseball ended early this morning and what the teams look like headed into Game 2, guys.
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy deal here. We were here, we were here earlier today for the completion of Game 1 Symphony. KOMU 8's Alyssa Casares is downtown at the Power and Light District with more on that story. Alyssa.
Earlier today, I talked to the Kansas City Symphony's executive director, and he told me that he came up with the idea after he issued the same challenge when the Royals played in the World Series last year.
After a 2-day trial, the jury in the murder trial of Anthony Shigog delivers a guilty verdict. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Reek.
And I'm Brittany Pieper. Shigog was accused of fatally stabbing Walter Leger outside of Hickman High School last October. KOMU 8's Nick Commissar is live at the Boone County Courthouse with reaction from the prosecution.
The prosecution's job was clear. Prove that Anthony Shigog is the person responsible in the stabbing death of Walter Lidge in October of last year. Sentencing is set for November 2nd, and Jacobs says Shigog's violent past is going to play a role in what the prosecution aims for as punishment. Reporting live from the Boone County Courthouse, Nick Commissar, KOMU 8 News.
A manhunt is underway after a shooting this morning that left 1 person hurt in Jefferson City. KOMU 8's Colin Ruane was live at the scene this morning and joins us now live with the latest details. Colin.
Jim, the scene has calmed down considerably over the past couple of hours. The police tape that had lined the street is no longer there, but police tell me they are searching for 2 suspects, but don't really have much more information on the suspects at this point.
The City of Columbia is working to make itself more attractive to people looking to start a business. Good evening, I'm Brittany Pieper.
And I'm Jim Reek. Thanks for joining us tonight. The Columbia Vision Group discussed strategies. KOMU 8's Ebony Holman joins us live to tell us about the plans.
I'm live at City Hall where the Vision Commission met just a few hours ago. It decided that the new strategy should focus on including more local private investors.